Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and Bill Gates. What do they all have in common besides being the richest men ever to exist anywhere in the history of the world? Well, they're divorced, with the latest being Bill and Melinda Gates. Now, the thing that really stands out the most is that these men have the fortunes of emperors. Now, the difference between a king and an emperor is that a king rules over a country, but an empire is over a continent, like the Roman Empire, the Byzantine Empire, the Ottoman Empire, etc., so on and so forth. Those are all empires that span the size of a continent, and that's basically what these men have in terms of wealth and power and influence. These men could buy their wives anything that they have ever wanted. They have all the resources and money at their disposal, and even still, it wasn't good enough. And this should be a reminder to you about why you should never get married and why you are not safe. You see, if these guys aren't going to be safe from divorce, what makes you think you can fare any better? What makes you think that, what makes you think, I can do better, I have a unicorn by my side, she'll never do that to me? Bullshit. Okay, these three have a combined net worth of almost $500 billion, alright? And even their old ladies left them for whatever reason, okay? And if they'll leave, what makes you think you're any safer? Or better yet, what makes you think you can fare any better when it comes to divorces like this? And of course, there's, I think, Kobe Bryant, there's Mel Gibson, there's Brad Pitt, all celebrities, all rich, all powerful, and they got divorced. If rich celebrities can get divorced, if multi-billion-dollar CEOs can get divorced, so can you. Which is why we say so often not to get married, not to cohabitate, and not to have any children, because of this very reason. We're seeing hypergamy play out right before our very eyes. They could have anything they wanted, but even with all the money, wealth, and power, it still wasn't good enough. They still left. They just decided, you know what, I don't want to put up with this anymore. Whatever their reasons were, I don't care. They all got divorced. They all divorced their husbands. I mean, Mackenzie right now is probably sitting on maybe $40-50 billion of Jeff's net worth. He probably would have $250 billion if not for his ex-wife, Mackenzie. So, but that's another topic for another time. Which brings me to my next piece of advice that I want to give to you guys. You see, quite often we always talk about chasing our purposes, and we talk about our dreams, our goals, our ambitions, and what we want to do. And, there's nothing wrong with chasing excellence. That's what every man should strive to do. A woman should never ever be a man's priority. His purpose and himself should be his own priority. But you know how it is with the world nowadays. You know how people are. You know how we're outnumbered by simps 100 to 1. Or rather 1,000 to 1, I should say. We're outnumbered by the simps, and of course, we mentioned this, we proudly declare our sovereignty, and they jump down our throats, and they always got a white knight. You know how it is. But the thing that the other guys don't talk about, and I could be wrong on this, I'm not trying to start up any drama, I'm not trying to talk shit, not at all. If I'm wrong, I'll eat my words, but, from what I've seen anyway, and this is just my interpretation of it, your view might be totally different, is that when it comes to chasing excellence, or chasing your dreams, your purpose, whatever you want to call it, that's not necessarily a guarantee that the woman you're with is still going to be around. That's not necessarily a surefire sign that you have found, quote, the one, end of quote. Because you could do everything right, you can grind all the livelong day, and she'd still leave. Some of the reasons, one could be that she feels, quote unquote, emotionally neglected. You're at the office all the time, you're always at the gym, You're always tinkering in the garage. You're always in your man cave. You never have time for me. You're always neglecting my feelings, blah, blah, blah. You know, just the usual nonsense. I don't think this is going to work out. I'm going to leave. Okay, don't let the door hit you where the Lord split you. Bye, bitch. Now, the other reason, of course, is intimidation. And I've come across guys, both in real life, and I've read a lot of stories where their old ladies were intimidated by them because of all the excellence and all the ambitions that they've had, all the success stories that their men decided, or rather, the success that their men had, their wealth, their power, etc. And they felt intimidated by them because they know that they couldn't bring anything to the table aside from daddy issues and used up pussy, of course. They feel intimidated by that. Their friends feel intimidated by that, and they decide that, you know what, I don't want to be with you because you intimidate me, so I'm pulling the plug on the relationship. I'm going to pull the plug on the marriage. Have a nice life without me. Goodbye. She feels intimidated by you. She feels emotionally neglected. So, and, there's also boredom. She might feel bored because you aren't around enough to where you entertain her, or that you're not around enough for her quote-unquote happiness. She's just basically bored. She's tired of you. She's tired of your ambition, and she doesn't want to stick around anymore. To that I say good riddance. I mean, there are of course a plethora of other reasons, but since when do women ever need a reason to leave? They can fabricate some plausible deniability. They could just up and leave. They're women. They don't need a reason. They'll just disappear. And to that I say good riddance. Because one thing that you have to understand, and I'll say this again for anyone who has not heard me say it before or has trouble understanding it, no offense, is that you could grind all the livelong day, you can slave, you can hustle, you can work, but even then that's not a guarantee that the woman you are with is going to stick around. Or rather, I should say the woman that is with you is going to stick around. I mean, sure, you might have better odds than the other person, but at the same time, there is absolutely, positively no guarantee that she ever is going to stick around. And if she doesn't, I say good riddance. Because the thing you have to understand is that you could have 1,000 different women come and go, but you have only a few purposes, one or two, whatever it is that you decide, whatever it is that gives you meaning in life. That's what you have. You see, you might abandon your purpose, but your purpose isn't going to abandon you. It's going to be there, however long it lingers around in your mind, should you ever decide to get back into the grind mode and chase it. Chasing excellence is never a guarantee that a woman will stick around, and why you should never even bother investing in relationships anyway. I mean, let's be honest, relationships and marriages are out. Way out. At some point, we just woke up and understood that it's not worth it, and that, honestly, at least in my case, I was in a relationship, and all it did was provide a hindrance to me. Now, when I was by myself, that's when I get shit done. I'm the kind of person where I'm by myself, that's when I can accomplish the most, and that's when I can do the most good. I had my first promotion when I was 21. I went back to school to become a welder. I never missed a single day, and I just got a raise. So, I'm chasing excellence myself. I have other things I want to do, and I have other plans that I want to execute in the future for myself, and I'm sure that you feel the same way about your own life. But just know that you can chase your purpose all you want, but she's going to make the ultimate decision whether or not she decides to stick around. Hence, Briffault's law. The first sentence, the female, not the male, determines all the social conditions. If she's determined that you're not worth investing in anymore, hey, kiss her goodbye. Don't even shed another tear. And if another woman comes around and she decides to share your vision, well, maybe she's something that you might see worth investing in or not. I can't really say for sure. I mean, from a MGTOW perspective, don't even bother. Just, pump and dump them, or just don't even associate with them at all, because you really run the risk of getting an STD. It would be like a backstage at a Whitesnake concert, as Stewie Griffin put it. But anyway, I figure I would just throw that out there. Thanks for listening. If you have a topic you want for me to discuss, or you have a song for my Anthems of MGTOW series, please post them in the comments section. I'll link up my email so that way you can contact me. I haven't been able to upload videos as much as I would like because I'm always busy. Welding takes up a lot of my time, and there's other things I like to do. So anyway, I guess that'll be all. See you next time with more to come.